Good evening, and welcome to the Current Buzz, your trusted source for the latest news and stories that matter. I'm Jason. And tonight, we bring you breaking headlines and updates from around the world. From politics to entertainment, and everything in between, we've got you covered. So, let's dive into the top stories making waves right now. Stay tuned.
Good evening and welcome. We're facing a cascade of breaking news tonight from every corner of the globe. From diplomatic overtures in the Middle East to political upheaval in Seoul and a dramatic showdown on Capitol Hill, the last 24 hours have been anything but ordinary. Tonight, we'll unpack the most significant political headlines, providing context and analysis to help you make sense of these turbulent times. We'll delve into the power struggles, the policy debates, and the human stories shaping the world around us. So buckle up because we've got a lot to cover. Let's get started. In a surprising diplomatic move, the foreign ministers of Germany and France have traveled to Damascus, marking a significant moment in international relations. It's the first visit of its kind since the start of the Syrian civil war more than a decade ago, a conflict that has devastated the nation and displaced millions. Both European powers are calling for a political new beginning in Syria, emphasizing the need for a comprehensive peace process that includes all stakeholders. This comes after years of international isolation for the Assad regime, which has been accused of numerous human rights violations and war crimes. The question now is whether this diplomatic outreach signals a genuine shift in policy or simply a recognition of the complex realities on the ground where multiple factions vie for control. Critics argue that engaging with Assad rewards his brutal crackdown on dissent, which has included the use of chemical weapons and indiscriminate bombing of civilian areas. They fear it could undermine efforts to hold his regime accountable for war crimes, potentially setting a dangerous precedent for international justice. However, proponents of this new approach argue that dialogue is necessary to address the humanitarian crisis and bring an end to the conflict, which has left the country in ruins. Only time will tell if this new beginning will lead to a more peaceful and stable Syria, but the international community remains cautiously optimistic. South Korea is reeling from its own political earthquake tonight. The nation has been thrown into turmoil, with citizens and officials alike grappling with the sudden and dramatic turn of events. President Yoon Suk-yeol narrowly avoided arrest after declaring martial law in a move that sparked nationwide protests. The declaration has been met with fierce opposition from various sectors of society, including political opponents, civil rights groups, and ordinary citizens. The situation remains incredibly tense. Streets are filled with demonstrators, and the atmosphere is charged with uncertainty and fear. The government's response has been swift but controversial. Critics accuse President Yoon of an authoritarian power grab, while his supporters argue he acted decisively to restore order. The debate over his actions has polarized the nation, with heated arguments erupting in both public and private spheres. This crisis has exposed deep divisions within South Korean society. Families, friends, and colleagues find themselves on opposite sides of the issue, leading to strained relationships and heightened tensions. The country is grappling with economic uncertainty, social unrest, and growing anxieties about North Korea's nuclear ambitions. The stock market has reacted negatively, and businesses are bracing for potential disruptions. The international community is watching closely, concerned about the stability of this key U.S. ally in a volatile region. Diplomatic efforts are underway to mediate the crisis, with global leaders urging calm and dialogue. The coming days will be critical in determining whether South Korea can navigate this crisis and emerge stronger, or whether it will descend further into chaos. Political analysts are closely monitoring the situation, offering varied predictions about the country's future. The stakes couldn't be higher. The world waits with bated breath to see how this political earthquake will reshape the landscape of South Korea. Here in Washington, the House of Representatives is in disarray. The atmosphere is tense, and the stakes are incredibly high as lawmakers grapple with a leadership crisis that has far-reaching implications. Speaker Mike Johnson's bid for re-election hit a major snag when he failed to secure enough votes on the first ballot. This unexpected turn of events has left many questioning his ability to lead. Two Republicans broke ranks, publicly opposing Johnson's leadership. Their dissent has sparked a heated debate within the party, revealing underlying tensions that have been simmering for months. This unexpected rebellion has thrown the House into chaos, exposing deep fissures within the Republican Party. The legislative process has ground to a halt, and the future of key policies hangs in the balance. Johnson has pledged to work with prominent figures like Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy on spending cuts in an attempt to shore up support. These alliances are seen as a strategic move to appeal to both traditional and progressive factions within the party. However, it remains unclear whether these overtures will be enough to quell the dissent within his own party. The negotiations are ongoing, and the outcome is far from certain. The House is now locked in a stalemate, unable to conduct any business until a new speaker is elected. This deadlock is causing frustration among lawmakers and constituents alike. This power struggle has serious implications for the country's legislative agenda and highlights the deep partisan divisions paralyzing American politics. The nation watches closely, aware that the decisions made in the coming days will shape the political landscape for years to come. Chapter 4. Democrats search for a winning message. As the dust settles from the recent elections, Democrats are engaged in a fierce internal debate about the path forward. Some argue for a more aggressive, confrontational approach to counter what they see as the extremism of the Trump wing of the Republican Party. Others believe the party needs to focus on delivering tangible results for working families and addressing the economic anxieties fueling voter frustration. Finding the right balance between responsiveness and opposition will be crucial for Democrats as they seek to regain lost ground and offer a compelling alternative vision for the country. The outcome of this debate will have profound implications for the 2024 presidential election and beyond. Chapter 5. Legal troubles mount for Senator Menendez. Senator Bob Menendez finds himself at the center of a growing legal maelstrom. While the details remain shrouded in secrecy, sources suggest the allegations against him are serious. Menendez, a powerful Democrat from New Jersey, has denied any wrongdoing. However, the cloud of suspicion hanging over him threatens to derail his career and further erode public trust in government. This developing story is a stark reminder that even the most powerful figures in Washington are not above the law. We'll continue to follow this story closely and bring you the latest developments as they unfold. Chapter 6. The immigration battle reignited. Immigration has once again emerged as a flashpoint in American politics. The Biden administration's handling of the border is facing intense scrutiny from both sides of the aisle. Republicans accuse the president of being too lenient, while Democrats argue for a more humane and compassionate approach. The debate over immigration is often emotionally charged and deeply personal. It goes to the heart of who we are as a nation and what values we prioritize. Finding common ground on this issue has proven elusive, but the need for comprehensive immigration reform has never been greater. Chapter 7. The hidden costs of mail-in voting. The COVID-19 pandemic led to a surge in mail-in voting, but this shift has come with unintended consequences. Election officials across the country are reporting a significant increase in ballot rejections due to issues with signatures. This trend has raised concerns about voter disenfranchisement, particularly among minority groups and first-time voters. As we strive to make voting more accessible, we must also ensure that every vote is counted accurately and fairly. The integrity of our elections depends on it. Chapter 8. Filibuster fight looms over new Senate session. The new session of the United States Senate is underway, but the shadow of the filibuster looms large. Democrats are facing mounting pressure to eliminate or reform this procedural hurdle, which they argue is being used to obstruct progress on key legislative priorities. Republicans, however, remain firmly opposed to any changes to the filibuster, arguing that it plays a vital role in protecting minority rights and fostering bipartisan compromise. The battle over the filibuster is ultimately a battle over the future of American democracy and whether our institutions can adapt to meet the challenges of the 21st century. Chapter 9. Deciphering the election results. The political landscape has been reshaped by the recent elections. Analysts and strategists are poring over the results, trying to decipher the underlying trends and what they mean for the future. Some see these elections as a repudiation of the status quo, and a sign that voters are hungry for change. Others caution against reading too much into a single election cycle, arguing that the political pendulum is always in motion. One thing is clear, American politics remains deeply polarized and the battle for the soul of the nation continues. Chapter 10. The Week Ahead, in Politics. As we look ahead to the week ahead, the political calendar is packed with consequential events. The House of Representatives will continue its efforts to elect a new speaker, while the Senate grapples with the filibuster debate. Meanwhile, the Biden administration faces mounting pressure on multiple fronts, from the crisis at the border to the ongoing pandemic. The world is watching closely as the United States navigates these turbulent waters. The decisions made in the coming days and weeks will have far-reaching implications for our country and the world. Outro: stay informed, stay engaged. That's all for today's top political headlines. We've covered a lot of ground from the streets of Damascus to the halls of Congress. The world is changing rapidly, and staying informed is more important than ever. We'll be here to guide you through the complexities of these challenging times, providing context, analysis, and a commitment to truth and accuracy. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content. We'll see you next time.
That's all for tonight on The Current Buzz. Thank you for spending your time with us. We'll see you again tomorrow, same time, same place. Until then, take care and have a great evening.